been a guide for me, and I'm glad that you had the webcam turned the right way because I'm still learning some of your licks. And that has nothing to do with the song because it's no longer the song. You know, when I watched you play that, I said to myself, and that is not
What
on
are you talking about?
the. I'm still talking about. I ain't mad at you. Now, when you played that song, the thing I'm thinking of is this. I heard so many things in that song to where it's like he's written a whole song apart from it that could be rearranged. And you know how you tend to improv. Um, I heard so many things that you played where it could have been a different song that you could have recorded that was beautiful. And that's what I took away after listening to. First, it was discouraging. It wasn't discouraging at first. When I listened to, I knew where I was musically. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I listened to you play it, those whole 2 hours, the whole, if he's putting this in it, he's putting that in it, and I'm watching you restructure the song through your skills and your talent. And it's like, man, I got a long ways to go. I sound awful. But by the same token, I'm saying that nuance is great. This nuance is great. And you even mentioned, well, I kind of pulled this from another song, but you kept it on the vein of I ain't mad at you. And so I'm gonna do. I've already been chosen to do. I ain't mad at you, but I'm gonna do it my own way. But I've pulled so much energy and inspiration from what you did. It made me discouraged at one point because I said, "Man, what I'm doing is awful, and that's how far I gotta go, and all that sort of stuff."
Yeah.
It's not good to compare yourself, but if you have the right attitude,
Right.
it gives me something to strive for. I got an immense amount of inspiration from that.
Okay.
And listen, not just that. If you and I were just in the studio and I just picked that song apart and said, listen, we're going to work on that song for, I'd say, 3 hours. And I'd start back from the beginning of your webcam to the end of it. And I'll say, this little part right here, we're going to snip out. This little part right there, we're going to snip out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that little part, listen, I heard so many things. And when I heard the things I could snip out, I'm also hearing in my own talent, boy, you could do this and that with it. But my thing was, I would hear he could do this and that with this little part he did, but because of my piano skills, that discouraged me. I couldn't play it. It's like you're hearing things that you can't play. So see, when I said you knocked the ball out of the park, it's like I listened to that and it put through all kinds of musical changes that I went through. I'm still working on it. I am still working on that song. And I'm going to have my own remake of it. But you have no idea how much inspiration and motivation I got from you on that way of thing, just doing it over. If
Oh,
if I was your producer and it says, listen, you go in the studio and this guy is so and so, and you're going to do a remake of that song, you pulled up so many original ideas from other songs that you did, but you still kept it in the train to that song. It carried.
that's only because you knew you heard me play a lot. Hello, hello. Oh, his phone got disconnected. Hello, did I mute you? Oh, it got disconnected. We got disconnected. That was a young man. He calls himself Circus Mind. This young man had the opportunity to go see Prince. He was working with this guy called Wiz. He's in the music industry. And this guy named Wiz had worked with, I don't know if you remember Cisco from years ago. They used to do a handstand. But this guy was working with Prince before he died. And he had this young man, this we just finished listening to, had a chance to. He's gonna call me back. Had a chance to go in the hotel room, sleep on the floor, and this guy was going to introduce him to Prince as a writer. This guy doesn't even consider himself a writer, but when he went to somebody's studio just to hang around, this guy was trying to write a song and he was having problems. And this guy is a lyricist that you finish listening to here. He can make up a song in a minute. And he was in the studio with these people, and they were trying to write this song, and he just said, "What part you need?" And he says, "Go out the room." He couldn't do it with people. Why? He said, "Go out the room and come back." And he said when he came back, he had the lyrics to the song. And it's so funny when he left that guy's house, the guy's studio, the guy called the guy and asked him to send that guy back for weeks. He kept calling him and telling them to send that guy back, man. I want to work with him. And he just shrugged it off as if to say, that's not what I want to do. And I was upset with this guy because he had a chance to meet Prince, go sleep on the floor in a hotel room. This is him now. He doesn't know that he's going to be live. I'm going to see if I can get him to talk about what happened. Oh, wow. The phone went dead.
I thought I had run out of minutes.
Yeah. Oh, you got,
but,
I'm saying you just got fresh minutes, didn't you?
No, I was still about to run out, but because I saved them and saved them and saved them, I got a little more time to talk now because tomorrow's the first, so I'll have a whole refresh load, so I can afford to check out.
You remember you told me when you went with Wiz over to that guy's studio that time, you were telling me that the guy needed some lyrics. What exactly? And you were saying he needed some lyrics for the song, and you said, well, okay, go out the room and come back or something like that. What exactly?
Yeah.
What happened?
We're skipping motifs, but
cut to the chase.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what was happening?
I will entertain that story, but while I wanted to talk more about Swan Lake, the way you played it, and I Ain't Mad at You. So much inspiration I got from those songs, the way you played them. But the thing with Wiz was he happened to be going over to the guy's studio, and the guy was paying him to lay down tracks. When I went over his house, dude had one of them serious a Rottweiler dog, terriers and all that. Anyway, dog didn't bother me, it's okay. But anyway, they were working on the song, and Wiz, I got to see his genius and talent where the guy played the song first by Rick James. And it wasn't one of his known hits. But he told Wiz, I want a song like this, at about this time signature and this beat, along those rhythm lines. And Wiz laid down exactly what he wanted. And it was funky. It was like somebody says, you have a wife and say, go in the kitchen and fix me something sweet to drink. And she come back with some lemonade with a little bit of strawberry in it and just makes the drink perfect. Yeah. That is what Wiz did with the music on that song. And he laid it down, and I don't remember how it came up where he needed lyrics for the song. And I said, well, lyrics was my specialty, because, Wiz don't really do lyrics the way it was. And so, as Wiz was finishing up the main parts of that song, he was sitting in the room, I was sitting in the corner, and I said, well, if you really need some lyrics, at first, I tried to write the lyrics while Wiz was still doing the music and switching up and changing. And I said, look, if you give me a half an hour after you get to a certain point where there's enough music there, I said, with the music you got, I said, give me 30 minutes and I will wrap up. At that time, musically, I was just inspired first by the music that he wrote. And creatively, the guy said, whatever you want to make the song about. And I remember it was kind of romantic, kind of up-tempoed. And I guess I'll never get to hear that song again because that guy went to Texas or wherever he went, Georgia, wherever he moved to. But coming up with colorful hooks and phrases along with the melody. So I said, listen, give me 30 minutes. And the reason why I said 30 minutes, do you remember I told you I was going to this other guy's studio? I don't think you knew them, but there was a guy that had a studio out in Maryland. And he is the one who even suggested that. When it started when I said, give me 30 minutes. Right. That came from an experience that I had. I went over to this guy's house who had a studio about 3 or 4 times. And he had Pro Tools and one of them big, huge Pro Tools mixing boards and the awesome studio he was building and everything. He's telling me himself this. He said, when you have groups and stuff coming in, he would just sit down and say, look, in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I'm going to write the main theme of the song. Oh. I was doing that with him.
So you cut it. You just said, I seen somebody else do this. I'm going to do it.
Well, I had did it a few times because he instructed me that it could be done. And I remember after doing it with him, of setting up of colorful lyrics. I remember even after he had a young girl. This young girl was a lot of the artists he works with were not adults, but like juniors, right? Where it sounded where their parents and stuff would come over and drop them off, but they were still legitimate. But anyway, the lyrics and stuff that I was writing, I mean, it's like, okay, you're not writing this for a woman who is married and divorced and got kids. This girl is 16 years old. She has to have music around her age tier, her age group. He laid the music down. When I went over his house, he said, look, he laid the music down and had so much time for me to get back to him. And when I would go over his house, he would say, and he would compare his music to the music on the radio. He said, after I lay down a song, and if I wanted to be on a pop station or the station that he listens to with current music, he said he compares his song with what he hears on the radio. And if it doesn't stack up then, it's not even worth him sending it out. But anyway, that's where that 30-minute thing got started. He was telling me, look, you should be able to write a song in 30 minutes or practice honing your skin. And like I said, and it was only like 3 or 4 times. We eventually fell out as far as working together or getting along. I couldn't work with him.
You were just hanging out, just having fun.
It started
like a visit.
Yeah, no, it started with he wanted me to work with him musically. So I went over there maybe about 3 or 4 times, or maybe 4 or 5 times, of really working with him where he wanted me to work with him in his studio because he thought that I had some talent or whatever and give me guitars. He heard some of my songs. Okay, yeah, but he. Okay, but anyway, look, cutting to the chase to get this thing over with. He is the one who started to tell me about wrapping stuff up quick because he had deadlines to meet. When he had one group come in, another group was coming out. He said when he gets this company, you hit him for that, and that company, he has to have a whole lot of material already backed up. And he knew because I excelled at writing lyrics. I did good with him in writing lyrics in short periods of time that were catchy phrases. And I remember even vaguely the song that I wrote when I went. This is
Oh, the thing, his phone keep getting cut off. This is, I'll tell you, he don't know that I'm recording him on a thing. He not gonna get mad though, because he has an alias name, uh, Circus Mind. But the point I'm trying to make is the other house that he went over and was threw together. He learned what he did on one place and he tried it. He said, "I want to try it. Give me 30 minutes." But the point is that after he left this guy's house, this guy kept calling the other dude and saying, "Where's that guy at, man? Where's the guy at? I want to tell him to come back over." Where's it? For weeks at a time. This guy got skills and he's so humble. Oh, your phone keep dropping out, but that's okay.
anyway. That's where that came from. For me working with that other guy who has a studio and all, I happened to be tagging along with Wiz
Right.
when I went to his studio,
So you said,
and
so you said,
that's where when Wiz and the guy said that they needed some lyrics for it,
yeah,
I said, "Give me 30 minutes," and I could put some lyrics on the song.
yeah.
And they left. He just had me sit in the room by myself and played the track over and over. And I came up with some awesome lyrics that I'm proud of.
Oh,
I was really proud of it. I don't. I remember the basic theme. It was real romantic music, and the song was embellished with flavors that you like to taste.
yeah.
And I poetically said that my favorite flavor was the taste of the woman that I love, but it was eloquently woven. I mean, I really wove it really perfect where the guy was saying, Wes was telling me that that guy would ask about me all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Before he moved back,
Yeah, you was
that
telling me.
let me know. That one thing inspired me to where the one thing that I could do, because I can't play the piano worth a damn.
Nah, that ain't
I know how to arrange and all this, but listen, the one thing that I could do, if they said, okay, we're going to Georgia right now to a studio and they need a lyricist. If they set me down with a song, that's the one thing that I could do is write lyrics to songs with catchy phrases and change things up. That I know how to do.
that's what that's
That
what that's what
that's
he
one
was
of my
gonna
strong points.
hey, that's what he was gonna say when he said he wanted you to sleep on the floor of the hotel room to meet Prince. He said he was gonna introduce you as a lyricist.
Um, pretty much. Listen, now I could tell anyone. As far as listen, what he didn't. I don't remember it being
You don't
put
remember
in
you don't
those choice
remember
of words.
you don't remember
Well,
that.
I remember when he was saying to his cousins and all that sort of stuff, musicians and stuff that he was with, and I said, yeah. Now I remember. It comes back
I remember when
because
you
I
first
said
told
I'm
me.
around a bunch of professionals.
I remember when you first told me that he
Yeah,
said he was gonna let you sleep on the floor of the hotel, and then he said he wanted to introduce you to he had a chance to he was gonna meet Prince, and
now you know why we were sleeping on the floor.
he said he was gonna introduce you to Prince, and he said as a professional, but that's when you after that you got sick.
Yeah, but
But
it wasn't.
I'm just saying the guy was asking for you after you left, and that's when I said all those years I've been telling you that you were on a high level and you kept shoving it off, and I said that was the proof. You got proof. It proved to you three times. the time he wanted to take you to introduce you to Prince, the time when you were in the other place and the guy was showing you the 30-minute technique, and then when you did the
Right.
30, then when you turn around and put it to work for the first time, and the guy flipped out. So
Well,
that's three times proven to yourself that you are on the level of professionals, because those guys sell this stuff to professionals, right?
when it comes to lyrics, I have to say yes. If it if somebody said, "Listen, you got to write some lyrics," and we don't have no lyrics for these songs, that's what he's going to do. That is something that I could naturally do. But that alone is not. Um,
That's all you need. All you need is what you got. Your talent. You got your talent.
well, listen. Look, when I heard you play, um, like Tupac, it was like, dang, so many things happened,
Yeah,
and you don't realize
yeah, but
it broadened my horizons.
that particular song, when I started learning it, it was gelling before I sat at the piano. Like the songs I just did on the that just the way it is, it sucked. That that
Right,
Bruce Henry, that song, the way I played it, it sucked. That
right.
it's a couple of songs on the internet that I played. That 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 song, I ain't mad at
I
it.
don't think that Bruce Hornby sucked either.
I mean, well, it wasn't like a few of my favorite things to write,
Yeah, but that's not the easiest song in the world to play, man.
I have been doing it for years. I just had to a couple of years. I just had to brush up on it. But I say that to say that after I say that to say I forgot what I was saying. Hey, but so you go by the handle of Circus Mind?
That's what it's gonna be.
You
That is what it's gonna be.
then
I am Circus Mind.
so nobody knows who you are. So it's okay to release this live broadcast. I did. It's been 20 minutes so far.
Um,
It's
it better not be. I know I agreed to it, but
nobody's gonna know who you are. I mean, this will help me out, man. I mean, this is like proof that I have a friend that's on a professional level. I mean, I'm asking you for it.
Mr. Anonymous,
Yeah, Mr. Anonymous, Mr. Anonymous.
I thought
You can go listen to it in the next 5 minutes. Hello? Don't tell me I lost contact again. Hello? Did I meet you? Oh, it he doesn't. I had to get permission. He's a good friend of mine. He's so shy, but nobody knows who he is. It's been over 20 minutes. This is very insightful. This is one of my best lives right here. I bet you there's people watching this. I'd say it's one person listening already, but no. Oh, this Freddie Green, my man. Hey, Freddie Green. Hey, hey, guess what, man? Apollo. Guess what? Apollo. The saxophone player that I told you that saved my newspaper article, and he stays out in the country in the woods. He's on the internet now. Listen to this whole conversation. It's live. It's going out live. Are you there? Hung up again. Hello. Whoops. That's my brother. I'm calling. I don't want to call him. Keep getting. Hey, Freddie. What's happening? Hey, this guy won't call me back again. He keeps getting disconnected. This is a really good friend of mine.
I
Uh,
think it's my phone.
that
My battery is going dead.
okay. Hey, I'm live right now. So a friend of mine, one person listening live, and that's a Freddie Green. He's the guy that played on the street with me. when I was homeless years ago. We did our sabbatical living on the street. He's on the internet and live. You've been live, man, on the
Okay. Well, look.
Hey, go
On,
ahead.
on that note, I'm out of here.
Okay.
And you mentioned another name that you called me by.
Yeah.
Don't use it no more. Just leave it at Circus Mind.
Okay. Oh yeah, nah. That's all I ever said was Circus Mind. Nobody knows you as that. All they know is you as Circus Mind.
Yeah, yeah. I leave all that stuff about being in jail, getting locked up, uh, all the cocaine, drugs, all of the fast women, and all that other stuff. You know,
Oh, the white women in the pig feet, man. That's how
and
ignorant.
saved, spirit filled, born again, saved, blood washed Christian now on the. I'm glad none of that other stuff came up.
Nah. We've been talking clean and everything. But I tell you, you've been a spiritual advisor for me for years. This young man I'm talking to now had took me to rehab several times, and he has been there for me in my dire need. Several times he bought me several Thelonious Monk CDs years ago, and been a big help to me over the years. So, Circus
Well, look,
Circus
it's
Mind.
good to be appreciated, and Circus Man is signing off.
Okay, go listen
Peace
to
out, and good.
go listen to this. I'm going to put an interview with Circus Mind.
Okay, as long as you leave it at the name Circus Man, we cool.
Okay. All
All right, peace out.
right. Bye. Hey, okay, Freddie, I'm going to sign off, man. You're probably the only one listening there. Yeah, I said it's only one person listening, so I usually do one in the morning, but I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. And thanks for signing in, man. Stay strong, man. Make sure, hey, Freddie, the Freddie's listening. We were musicians downtown back in the '85. We paved the way for other musicians in DC. Everybody out there now. Well, ain't nobody out there now, except for a few people. But I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Freddie Green. I had just had the interview with Circus Mind, my man. So I'm signing off. I want to go make sure I title this correctly. Take care. Everybody, thanks for listening. Everybody, don't forget to leave a comment and hit the bell so you know when I'm on live. See ya. Wouldn't want to be roast beef and hair grease. I'm out. See ya. Gonna watch me some old movies right now. See you, everybody.